Hey everyone, my apologies. I've been feeling under the weather. Um, as you can see, it's 1:29 in the morning. Usually has a timestamp, but I just wanted to just get myself back together. So this is an easy exercise to follow along. We started it with the either ors, and it's there's 26 letters, right? A to Z. So this is going to count as this week's exercises for Friday. Essentially, you have, if you look on the workbook again, you have alligator or raccoon. All right. I just want you to do both of them, 30 seconds each. That's a minute. And then if you do the whole thing, it's going to be 26 minutes in total. Okay. Because I'm not explaining this so well. Anyway, letter A through Z is 26 letters. So each letter is a minute. And then there's alligator or raccoon. So 30 seconds, you'll be done. So just do this exercise. And this is for this week's training. And then from there, we'll proceed with the rest of them. So have your timer ready for 30 seconds. And if you notice behind me, right before the either ors, I gave you a list of the different attention grabbers that we're going to be learning over the course of the semester. And I numbered it from 1 to 14. We're just going to practice right now the first 7. So the first one is one word, attention grabber, 3 words, 1 statement, 3 statements, 1 question, 3 questions, a sound, and a gesture. Now, just practice that with me. So that's how I just want you to make sure you start your speech. Okay? All right. And this will progress more advanced once we start having to include these as your unforgettable endings as well. But it's been about a week or so more, maybe. I had your demonstration speeches done. Some of you needed some more time. I understand. I needed some more time for myself just to heal up as well. But you're doing great work, and just keep it up. All right. So without further ado, alligator. I'm just going to start with one word, and I'll just tell you what each one is, so so you understand what I'm doing a little bit. But this should be faster for you. Okay, so my recommendation is to have the words out and have the different attention grabbers out, and you just want to keep rolling with it. Okay, 30 seconds. Here we go. Alligator. Now, whenever you have the one word or 3 words, just avoid saying the actual word. So don't go alligator, alligator. Okay? All right, here we go. And let's begin. Green. Alligators are green, and I have a whole bunch of green in my apartment. Since the alligators are actually not here in Queens, I'm excited that with my green screen, I can make an alligator appear anywhere I want. Actually, I just changed this piece over here to green as well, because I actually really do like alligators and crocodiles. It was really a lot of fun to see them in Africa this past summer. Okay, so that's 30 seconds. Let's go to raccoon now. And then this time I want to try the 3-word statement. Okay. And, oh, I'm not sure if I wrote these down, but I will make sure that we also add in essentially those are word, 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 statement, 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 question, 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 where you just repeat the same one 3 times. But we'll worry about that for later. I just wanted to put that down as a note. Okay, let's go to raccoon. Stinky, smelly, annoying. The past month, these raccoons have been getting into my garbage cans. And I am so fed up with that I went on Amazon and I'm buying these cords that you have to install onto the garbage can to make sure that they don't get in anymore. It is one of the most awful feelings when you have to wake up in the morning and you got to clean all the garbage you threw in again. Never again. I'm not going to do that. Cool. So congratulations. That's 1 minute of training, right? And then you're just going to continue on for the 26 minutes. And I'll do this as well because I know you're doing it, so I'll do it too. I want you to focus on avoiding filler words, okay, and keep building your speed as you're going. So fidget spinner, I'm going to go with now 1 statement, okay? My nephews were obsessed with this toy. About 4 years ago, maybe it was 3 years ago, the fidget spinner, I'm sure you know, was a hot commodity. And they were selling for $5 a piece when it only takes perhaps 30 cents to manufacture. And certain people were just making a killing making all these. But that quickly died down. Before it died down, though, my sister made some pretty cool videos of my nephews using uh, those spinners in many different ways. That wasn't the crispest or the cleanest, but again, you just want to keep practicing. So now we go with yo-yo, and I'll start with three statements. I was never good at it. I always wanted to get good at it, but I'm still not good at it. That's right. I'm talking about the yo-yo. I remember there were different tricks, like you can walk the dog, you can, float around your neck, and all that cool stuff that kids in grade school used to do. And I always try to do it, but every time I would throw out the yo-yo would just never come back to me. And to this day, it still haunts me. Why couldn't I get the yo-yo to work correctly? Okay. By the way, I'm trying to stay at this volume right now because it is a bit later at 1:35 in the morning. Feel free to, of course, speak louder. But what I can do for effect is I can come closer to the mic and I'm going to start walking around a little bit. So I prefer, of course, you stand up and you see as much as possible to see your body language, which is really important. Okay, pancakes or waffles. And now I'm up to one question. So the P and the R, P stands for participative. When you want a participative question, you're going to say a prompt like raise your hand or clap your hands. The R is the rhetorical, which is when you just ask a question and you don't necessarily want an answer from the crowd. So I'll start with one question, participative. Okay. And again, these are different ways you can start your speech. These are different ways you can just start any single interaction that's going to boost up your confidence and social upbringing. So pancakes. One question, participative. Who here has heard of Kodiak pancakes? Raise your hand. Well, I recently have, and they're actually filled with protein. It's one of the breakfasts that a lot of bodybuilders have that's supposed to have a good compromise between taste and actual protein for muscle building. It's a nice break from your Eggo waffle type of pancakes. I've tried them once so far. Maybe I didn't make it as well as I would have liked to, but it was a bit bland. So maybe next time I'll put in some more syrup. Okay, cool. Waffles. Rhetorical question now, so I don't want the audience to answer with this. How would you feel if you had to eat 500 Eggo waffles from the breakfast? That's exactly what I did growing up. I had the most unnutritious food value that I could ever imagine growing up in class. And I would have maybe a whole box of 8 or 12 Eggo waffles all the time. I remember every time I went to the supermarket, I would just go and buy the gigantic box of 64, and I would finish that up within a week. Eggo waffles were just amazing for me to have. Okay, cool. Now we're going to three questions. So you asked three questions in a row, and these are all just participative questions. So now is a chance for you to be able to have the class interact, talk, or text. Okay. Who here likes to talk? Who here likes to talk a lot? Who here cannot stop talking? I want you to clap your hands together. It is beneficial for me to be a speech professor because whatever your job is, you're going to have to do a lot. And if you do something a lot, you should like it. I actually really do enjoy talking. Talking is something that I find to be truly therapeutic. It's a way for people to connect, and it's a great way for you to understand yourself. What are you thinking about? What's going on in your mind? Okay. Now, three rhetorical questions. I don't want you to answer them, right? You're going to say it differently. Do your thumbs hurt? Does your neck hurt? Is your back crooked? This is what happens when people text too much on their phones. My friend who's an eye doctor told me that the main problem that these kids are having these days are a bad neck because they're bringing their phones way too close to their eyes. And that's why they're coming in for all these vision issues that never used to happen until much later in their lives. I wonder how much you text and if you want to text less. Okay, cool. All right, now we go to a sound. I just want you to start with a sound, and this is base jumping. Oh, okay, interesting. Here we go. That would be a lot more difficult when you're jumping from hundreds of feet above, or at least tens of feet, and your knees might buckle underneath you. Base jumping is perhaps one of the most dangerous activities you can partake in, and a lot of people may actually take out large amounts of life insurance, but there's going to be clauses of whether or not that can be covered. If you're afraid of heights, this would be a great way for you to overcome it. Cool. A gesture. So I wanted to make a gesture without the part. Okay. So here we go. Well, that is a ribbon, but imagine it was a bungee connected to your feet. When I bungee jumped in Zimbabwe in Victoria Falls 2 summers ago, I apologize. This summer I didn't get a chance to go anywhere. I was really afraid because as they strapped the parts onto my foot, I realized that it's possible that my shoe would have fallen off. And if that fallen off, then I would have fell into the water where alligators were actually. Okay, water or seltzer. Now let's just go back around. Why not? You can do it any way you want. Gesture for water. Okay. No, it's not Gatorade. I'm talking about water. In fact, I have a whole lot of water next to me. Right here is a Poland Spring bottle. I usually do not like to drink out of these bottles. I prefer to just have my 1 gallon bottle that I carry with myself all the time. But beggars couldn't be choosers, and this was the closest one to me. I still have them as backups when I have to go out, so that's what I'm having right now. Okay, I think at this point, right, you're getting more and more advanced now that I want you to try to be able to include the attention grabber as one of them and the unforgettable ending as another. Now, this is going to become more challenging because you're going to have to find out when you want to stop the speech to get to the end of the speech. So I want you to start with the sound, and then I want you to end with 3 questions. Okay, so now you have to start having an idea of when do you want to end your speech, because you can't try to fit in 3 questions at the very end, right? And it's okay, right? If you hit the 30 seconds and then you want to wrap it up, it's okay. And maybe I'll cheat a little bit. I'll see when it's 25, and then I'll just be able to hit on the dot or something like that. So the next one here is skydiving. Actually, no, seltzer. I'm sorry. Seltzer, I'll make a sound. Oh my. I hated drinking seltzer when I was younger. I had no idea what was the appeal of drinking carbonated water. And I just remember that every time there was seltzer, I would just really be angry that someone in the household brought it home. I was always a caffeine drinker and then a sugar drinker, but seltzer was absolutely not in the picture. Did you like seltzer? Would you drink seltzer? And how much seltzer would you drink? Okay, good. So I fit in 3 questions in there, as you can see, with the sound. All right, so now we're going to start with 3 questions, and then we're going to end with a question. And this one here is skydiving. How much would you pay to skydive? Who would you want to skydive with, and where would you want to do it? For me, I always wanted to be able to skydive by myself, but I'm not good enough because I only did it once, and you have to do at least maybe 20 skydives until you can go with an instructor. I am curious though, because a lot of you do seem quite brave, and if you have done it before. So my question to you is, when will you go skydiving next? Okay, so started with 3 questions, ended with a question. And as we're proceeding now, you're going to see that we're getting closer and closer to the 26 minutes of practice. So I wanted to be able to split this up into 2 groups, right? One day or another day. And again, today is Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. So don't worry, I'm going to give you to the weekend to do this. I'm late on it, so you can take more time. It's okay. The 13 minutes a day is ideal. So I would ask that you keep on practicing this more and more and more. But again, I'm sorry that I'm behind, but we'll be rolling because I'm feeling better. And in future videos, I'm not going to go through every single one like this because you're going to get a better chance of understanding it. So I'll just go over some of the other stuff. But because we are incorporating this stuff now, I'll do that. So, all right, scuba diving. Start with a question and with 3 statements. Start with a question and with 3 statements. Scuba diving. What do you have in common with your speech professor? Me. My speech professor was a big scuba diver, and his email was actually like scuba500@yahoo.com. And at the time, I didn't really think much about it because I had never scuba dived myself. But now I am actually a rescue diver since I got certified in Malawi. Scuba's cool. Scuba's fun. I can scuba now. Okay, so you saw how that one worked out. Let's go to Netflix now. Netflix, go with 1 statement and then 3 words. 1 statement and then 3 words. I always watch Netflix, but I never pay. My friend, my best friend, one I consider a brother, he has a Netflix account that allows him to have 5 users. And it's his entire family plus me. And it's funny because as I was watching The Office, so was he. But I was on season 7 when he was in season 9. So we're always having a battle between which one it is. Netflix is expensive, cheap. I messed it up. Alternative, whatever. And this happens sometimes, okay? I'm sure it happens to you. It happens to me. And then you just move on with it. It's okay. No need to fret about it. This is what makes us better. Okay, Amazon Prime. We're going to go with 3 words and then 1 word. 3 words, then 1 word. Here we go. Fake, deceitful, ripoff. Amazon Prime Day was, to me, piece of not a great day. Because when I checked previously, they're pretty much the same sales that are actually going on. And there's a lot of price drops happening. And when they market it that way, you get a lot of people buying products that aren't actually on sale. It was awful. Cool. Alrighty, now we are good. We're going to go to Instagram or Snapchat now. And as we get more advanced, right, and of course, you just go through this whichever way you feel comfortable. But for all of you who are ambitious and would like to do it the way that I had planned for everybody, get ahead. Just keep getting better. What we're going to add now in each one is the dramatic pause. So we have an attention grabber. We're going to add in a dramatic pause somewhere. And then we're going to also come up with the unforgettable ending. Okay, so Instagram now. 1 word, 3 words. Okay, so here we go. 2016. That was approximately the year that I actually got into Instagram. I was using Facebook, and all my friends and students were like, dude, like, you're so old fashioned. You got to get on Instagram. It's so much fun. And I remember when I made my first post, and I hadn't posted for like another year and a half afterwards, these students were like kind of just like egging me on. So you know what I realized? I had to do it. And the 3 words weren't there because I messed up on time. So I'm actually going to try that part again. And now I'm going to go to Snapchat. Okay, so I'm going to start with a word. Inactive. Although I do have a Snapchat account, I don't use it and I don't know how to use it really. I know there's a point system where you can get points and it depends on how much you use it and how much you work it. I know there's an emoji that surprisingly people can really make look very close to how they actually look in real life. And to me, that is quite scary, dangerous, yet cool. Nice. Okay, here beeps. Okay, nice. I was able to successfully do that one, although I'm not really sure where my dramatic pause was. So this is like kind of tricky, right? It's kind of hard to be able to do this. Now, eventually, now I would say you don't have to follow exactly what you want to do. You can just more naturally do whatever comes. But for now, I just wanted to be able to practice these ways. Most of the speeches usually start really generically with, have you ever? Um, and I want you to get rid of that in your mind, and I want you to come up with more unique ones. So here we are now with brother or sister, and I'm not gonna like program myself to have to say this or that. The idea is just so that you work on each and every one, and you don't fall in love with just the one question attention grabber. Okay, so here we go with a not one attention grabber, not one attention grabber, not using the one question attention grabber. Yeah, I always wanted a brother when I was younger, but I never had one biologically. So that was disappointing because I always wanted someone I could look up to when I was younger. And I always felt like, hey, if I'm bored at home, I don't have to have a friend over. I can always just hang out. Disappointed. Okay, cool. And let's go to sister now. And here we go. Well, I ended up having a sister. Well, actually, she ended up having a brother because I'm younger. And I can tell you, it's also actually really cool to have a sister because she definitely has a unique personality. And we get to, you know, have lives in complete opposite sides of the world. Well, at least in America. And what about you? What siblings do you have? Okay, not the best one, but just practicing along. Secrets or lies? Okay. Oof, now I'm getting a little tired. So, um, what I like all of you to kind of try to do a little bit is just to, you know, add a little bit of walking around here or there. That's why I say 13 minutes a day, because you could get fatigued. But let's go with secrets right now. Okay. You can try to walk away, but eventually everyone wants to know secrets. And that is a part of human nature to have curiosity and want to have esoteric knowledge that other people may not have. What is the secret you want to know? Did you ever ask that person before? And if you haven't, what is stopping you from doing that? All right, smoother there. And I like the walking around. You want to make your walking purposeful. Now we have lies. And here we go. You are a liar. I'm sure someone has called you that before. And you know what? I'm sure at least one time we were caught with a lie and we might not have liked it, but it happened. But guess what? I'm 100% sure that it's not going to be everyone's last time. The more important question I want to ask you would be this: why did you lie? Okay. Okay, 2020 or 2021. And let's change it up now to a triple statement. 2020 has been odd. Who thought this would ever happen? I never did. I was completely content and satisfied with traveling the rest of the world. But when our quarantine and everything hit, it was just such a surprise. All right. So that's that one. Let's go to 2021 now. And with this one, let's try 3 words. another online semester. That's what we may very well come to. For you high school seniors there, I do empathize that you lost a lot of your high school senior memories. And as a freshman now, you lost out on a lot of the feelings in the end. But you know what? You will be okay. All right. Let's go to letter M. Wow, we are getting okay. This is taking longer than what I liked, but this will be essentially 26 minutes, which is 2 days worth, and I'll give you till Sunday to do them. That's cool. All right, iPhone or Android. So at this point now, I'd like you to be able to start adding in some props into your speech, so it becomes a lot more fluid. Here, I don't ever want you to get bored. Okay, please don't take my energy stillness as boredom. It's just trying to keep my voice more down and also my feeling. But okay, here we go, and let's begin. This is an Android. I switched over from Apple to Android about 3 years ago. In fact, my last iPhone was an iPhone 8. And I have mixed reviews about the Switch. Android now is becoming more of my favorite. Whenever I use my mom's iPhone, I just get really upset with some of the configurations. What phone do you hate the most? Okay. Let's go to yeah, and getting the prop just kind of gave me a little bit of some extra movement over here. Okay, and let's go to the next one here, which is iPhone 12. The iPhone 12 is now out, and you know what? I just went to T-Mobile. The workers are my friends, and they told me they don't think the 12 is anything special. It's just they have to come up with something every single year. It's pretty much recycled, but maybe they add an extra camera in. Are you going to get the camera? How much are you going to pay for the 12? Why don't you just stick with your new phone, your old phone? Cool. All right. Instant gratification. Hmm. Let's see. I'm looking at the props around the room. And okay. I love to write. The pen has always been my favorite instrument for writing because to me, I can find instant gratification. I find a pen, find a surface, and just start writing on it, and I can scribble. When you are typing, you can punch the keys as hard as you want, but it still comes out the same. You don't really show a sense of anger unless you just cap it or you put an exclamation point. I will always prefer the pen. Prolonged happiness. I don't believe in it. Why wait for something you want now, later? Because you might not want it later. I want you to imagine that you really wanted a toy in third grade. I'm sure you did. I mean, what's the point of waiting it until you're in sixth? By then, you probably want something different, right? Because you change, times change, and what you want changes. Fame or love? Billboards, advertisements, the world. That's right. I know you want to be famous. What I want to ask you though is what are you going to be famous for? Is going to school right now help you get famous? Are you trying to develop a skill in that field to become the person you want to be known for around the world? And what are you going to do? Okay. Next one is love. Now I'm getting really tired, but I want to put in the time just like I I asked you to put in the time as well. So you just kind of power through it a bit. Love. Do you know what I love? My elephant mouse pad that I just got. I am not going to be able to see an elephant here in New York anymore, but I've seen them all around the world. And it's nice that I'm able to have one so close to home now because it reminds me of my travels. What is something that reminds you of your travels? Where are we? What did I just talk about? Fame, love. Okay. Take out or sit in. Impossible. It was impossible to actually sit in a restaurant for a long time here in New York City. So what I did was I actually went to eat at a Japanese restaurant out in Long Island, and I actually got to sit down. No one else was there except me and my friend. So it was pretty cool that we had like this large air conditioned room right there, right there for us. It was Benihana, and it was delicious. Okay. The next one here is sit-in. For sit-in, here we go. Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind sitting in at a restaurant because standing forever, as I can feel now, is a bit tiring. But you know what? Sitting in now also has its dangers. So you got to practice standing up more often. The more you stand, the stronger you get, the more used to it is, and the safer you can be during these times. Okay. Uh, I promised I would go finish it, so I'm going to finish it. All right. Obsession. And now I'm going to activate these word, 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 statement, 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 question, question, question. So if it's not in that workbook, or it may be, I don't have that with me right here. Just make sure you do it, and I'll give you an example of it, just to spice it up. Okay. So here we have obsession or idleness, and here we go. Mirror, mirror, mirror. That's right. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Right. Uh, Sometimes people can get obsessed with what they see in the mirror, whether it's because they find it to be aesthetically pleasant or otherwise. Recently, though, when I looked in the mirror, I realized that, man, I give myself really, really bad haircuts, but this is starting to grow back, and I'm really excited about it. What do you like when you look in the mirror? Next one here, we're going to use statement, statement, statement. And this one is for idleness. Dull feeling. It's a dulling feeling. It's a dulling feeling. One of my students who was in the St. John's Honors Program about 3 years ago said that he never has time to feel bored anymore because now that there's a phone, there's always notifications going on. And he realized that he hated this because when he was younger, he had time to be bored, time to find imagination, and time to have creativity. Creativity is going away. Comedic question, question, question. Is Chris Rock funny to you? What about Robert De Niro? Or perhaps Jim Carrey? What makes you laugh every day? Do you ever start to analyze what humor is all about? Like, what makes something funny? And sometimes what makes it just fall flat on your face? When you know that you're trying to make a joke, oftentimes it doesn't make as funny as it's supposed to be because it's supposed to be unintentional. Serious. Okay, now we're just rolling with what we have. And feel free to be able to combine some of these as well. So I'll do a sound and a gesture together. Serious. Mm-hmm. 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 I remember there was this guy who was guarding the gym, and he was this big guy, about 6'5", and he took his job so darn seriously. Right, give me your storm card. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I'm just like, man, just relax. Why is it such a big deal for you to take this job seriously? But then I probably felt that, you know what, he had nothing better to do. Win or lose. Do you love winning? Do you hate losing? Which one bothers you more? For me, I actually hate winning because when that happens, you get a bit too complacent. I always want to make sure that I don't have too many great days in a row or too many victories in a row because that usually means that you're facing the wrong opponents and you got to face someone harder. Keep that in mind. Lose. What makes you sad? It's sad when you are rooting for a team who always loses. What is even sadder is when you see people in your life lose, however they might define it. Maybe they bet on a team, or maybe they bet on themselves, but it didn't work out. You have to overcome that bad feeling. Finger or toe? Now I'm getting to a point where I have to advance this. Now I like you to start throwing in some alliterations if possible. And when you throw in the alliteration, I like you to really say it in a way that we're going to catch it. Okay? Finger or toe? I love fantastic finger foods. My favorite is, dramatic pause, the mozzarella stick. When I dip that into the marinara sauce, it just tastes so darn delicious. But some bars or other places, they're gonna serve it when it's all microwaved, and it's not good. Make sure that it's baked, baked, baked. Cool. That was a lot more fun for me. I was able to implement some stuff, and I'm starting to come alive a little bit. So toe, tick, tack, toe. No, that's a different type of toe. But I just got these Allbirds. I don't know if you know the brand or not, but they're actually really comfortable. And these shoes are the only ones that I wear indoors because when I'm making these lessons, I don't want to be wearing my outer shoes and get my apartment dirty or anything like that. So why don't you buy a pair of Allbirds today? Debate or ignore. Don't you hate debating dumb people? I'm sure you do. And that's why no one should be considered dumb in any way that you want to call it. I'm sure people just throw that word in there. Oh, my friend is so dumb, or oh, this is so dumb. Have a chance to teach them something that they might otherwise not know because there's so much, I'm sure, that we all don't know as well. What's something you want to learn? Who can you ask? What will you learn today? Ignore. Excuse me. I can't ignore ice. I love ice. The refrigerator that I just newly bought over the summer produces the best ice out there. It was so strong and cold. And during the summertime, when I needed just a quick chill to wake me up, that ice never failed. What are your thoughts on ice? I think it's super. Antarctica. Uncle John, why do you always find time to go to Antarctica, but you can never come visit us in Atlanta? When my nephew hit me with the alliterations of always Antarctica, Atlanta. I was like, man, he is learning speech, and I should really go and visit them out there. So speech does make an impact on how we feel and the actions we do. You should do something because of your speech today. Africa. Simply put, did you know Africa is amazing and awesome? There are 54 countries in Africa. How many do you want to go to in your lifetime? Most people, they never go there once. And if they do, it's only for a layover to perhaps go to Asia or go to Europe. But I can tell you from the 20 countries that I've been to in Africa, it is a incredible journey. Law or chaos? Lynn likes to make laws. My father has a whole bunch of law books that he always wanted to read. And back then, you had to buy a book for every single set. So to this day, we still have all these books. He never did become a lawyer, though, but the memory is still there. Chaos. Children can create chaos. How many kids can you babysit at one time before your brain just goes kaput? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I challenge you to try to take care of 7-year-olds because those are really hard kids to take care of at that age. All right, get into it. Midnight. Now, try to add some triple rhyme in there now. Does the dark scares you? Well, when it's midnight and there's no light, the world can be full of fright. I used to love to go to Fright Fest at Six Flags Great Adventure. They would have all these creepy crawlers just come out during the water fountain where it's all red and splashy. I still remember when I went, and the weather is just always really nice in the fall. It's like cold, but you're still live and awake. I hope you all have a good Halloween. Okay, noon. Soon it will be noon. Perhaps no monsoon. Monsoons are quite dangerous, and actually, it is hurricane season again. I'm really hoping that there will be no natural disasters this time around. It's just insanely crazy how our climate and temperature has been changing so much. What will you do about it? Are you scared of it? What are your thoughts? Always now. So now, biggest challenge that I want you to try to do is fit in a triple rhyme, a triple alliteration, and a dramatic pause with the attention grabber and the unforgettable ending. Just try it out. Okay. And I know sometimes you like to just write them out like what are you going to do? Just have fun with it and see what you have. Every second. That's what always means. And it's hard to be mean and to go lean by eating all your greens. And that's why people don't always follow through with their New Year's resolutions to be healthy, happy, because they get hungry. Did you not follow through with the resolution? Cool. I was able to fit it in. Never. Okay. And here you go. Impossible. Don't ever say never because you are too clever. You are calm, creative, and contagious when you have a positivity that absolutely radiates. When I'm watching your demonstration speeches, they're super exciting. You know why? Because you are intelligent. And commiserate or fabricate. Okay. Commiserate. Look it up if you don't know. And if you do, cool. Then again, learn new vocabulary words. So here we go. I cry, I sigh. Why? I'm trying to commiserate with my friend who is getting over a heartache. He had a break. And what does it take to get over it? 8 months, and he's still not over his relationship that lasted 3 weeks. Have you been in a situation like this before? And finally, fabricate. Have you stretched the truth before? Well, if you have, then you fabricate. And that's not something to appreciate, but you should consider. I can't think of a word that rhymes. Fabricate, but you should delegate other people controlling you so that you don't always lie. Lies, lies, lies. All right. Congratulations, champion. I have just done 26 minutes of practice with also explaining all this. And this is my tutorial for all of you. Again, 13 minutes a day. Keep on practicing. This is how you start your speech. This is how you end your speech. This is how you put all the parts together. All right. So no papers for me. You just practice, and I guarantee you, you're just going to improve, improve, improve. Okay. With that ado, it's 2:16 now. I'm going to get ready to go to sleep. Good work. And again, I'll be making videos now that will, if you scroll down in the workbook, I'm going to finish up the parts so that you, these are important parts over here. That's talking about the other stuff. Start working on some of the blanks that go ahead of me. A lot of this is self-explanatory, so I would like you to be able to do that. And yeah, I will be covering this faster and faster. Okay, so anyway, now you know how it's done. And next time I won't do the whole 26 with you for this part. But I wanted to do this once so that you know that I do them and that I do improve from them as well. Okay? All right, everybody. Have a great night and keep on attacking, Speech Warriors.